Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Recently I was given the task of fixing some intonation problems on this vintage 1967 Selmer basset horn. This instrument is very rare and unique, so I thought I'd take this unique opportunity to give you guys a demo and review of this instrument. So first I'm going to play some scales just to give you an idea of how the instrument sounds like throughout its entire range, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on the instrument. So without further ado, let's get started. To start off, I'm going to play a scale from the lowest C on the instrument all the way up to the C at the top of the clarion register. Probably the strangest quirk of this instrument is the arrangement of the lowest basset keys. So the fingering for low E flat is a little bit strange. Where this would normally be the low E flat key on most alto and bass clarinets, on this instrument the low E flat is played with this key up here, right below the F C key. This key is actually the low C sharp D flat key. Now low D can be played in several ways, either by playing it with the thumb key or by using this key up here, which would normally be the left hand A flat E flat key on most modern instruments. Low C also has two different ways to play it. You can either play it with this thumb key, which is quite convenient, or what you can do is you can actually play a low C sharp and then hold down the left hand F C key, and that'll actually close the lowest tone hole, allowing you to play a low C. So it's a little bit strange, and if you're not used to playing basset horn, it can take a little while to get used to, but this is actually pretty much the standard arrangement on most small bore basset horns. And of course, every Selmer basset horn comes standard with a lyre holder, just for those times that you want to go marching with your basset horn. One other thing that you may notice about this instrument is how far out I have the neck pulled out. Now this is pretty common on all types of basset horns, both Selmer, Buffet, and LeBlanc. I don't know why basset horn necks require the player to pull them out so much to be in tune at A equals 440, but I'm guessing it has something to do with playing at higher pitches such as A equals 442 or A equals 444, but it's just one little quirk to note if you ever get one of these instruments. One other funny thing that I've noticed about this instrument is that the peg holder is actually the same peg holder that you would find on a bass clarinet. It's just been flipped upside down and it's had holes drilled in it so that it can be screwed to the wooden body. Now, a lot of basset horns don't come with floor pegs, so this is actually a really nice feature. Although the one weird thing about it is that when you're playing, you can't just reach down with your right hand and tighten the nut because it's now on the opposite side. You have to either do it with your left hand or kind of awkwardly twist your right hand around just to reach the nut. Something a little bit annoying that right-handed players might find on this instrument. So now I did previously mention that there were some intonation problems with this instrument when I got it. Most of those were caused by the fact that a previous repairman actually filed the inside of the bore and made it a bit too large, which caused the 12ths to widen, and the owner was complaining about the upper register being extremely sharp, which is a big problem if you're trying to blend in with other basset horn players. So what I actually had to do was I actually had to line the bore with epoxy in order to bring that diameter down and make the instrument once again in tune. Now there are some other intonation problems on this instrument, however these appear to have been here from when the instrument was new. The lowest basset notes, the C, C sharp, D, and E flat, are actually fairly flat, around 15 to 30 cents flat. And this has to do with the fact that these instruments were actually copied from earlier instruments which had a flare at the bottom of the bore, which meant that the tone holes could be located a bit lower and still be in tune. Now this instrument does not have a flare. The bore is a constant 15.8 millimeters, so the lowest notes are now out of tune because the tone holes are now located in the wrong place. So this is just something to note if you ever want to purchase one of these older small bore basset instruments. Buffet instruments of the same era also have the same problem, however LeBlancs do not. Thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it taught you a little bit more about Selmer basset horns and maybe about basset horns in general. Now these instruments tend to cost around $5,000 to $6,000, so if you're looking for a vintage basset horn, be prepared to spend a lot of money. However, they are significantly less expensive than a new instrument, which will be well over $10,000. Overall, I think these are still a good value, and if you really need a basset horn, a vintage instrument is definitely a way to go. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day.